We are living in a time when the global pressures on healthcare and agriculture are growing, with no signs of slowing down. One of the technologies that can help us in the race against time to feed our growing population and cure our major diseases is next-generation sequencing, or NGS. Emma Millican, Global Head of NGS at LGC Biosearch Technologies, is here to explain. Emma, what's been happening in the field of NGS and how do you see it progressing?
Sequencing has been revolutionised over the last number of years with NGS, the emergence of NGS. Next generation sequence itself is evolving rapidly, not only with the applications but also the instrumentation that is used to look at and analyse data. The scientists themselves are pushing those barriers constantly because they want to have technology and applications that drive and answer bigger and better scientific questions. I think what is really important is that the scientists and the businesses that are looking to push that question or answer the question is they work in partnership with companies that are wanting to innovate products for the applications in the next generation sequencing.
What are the challenges you see for NGS, whether in basic research or in the clinic?
The challenges are in one way similar to the basic researcher and also the clinical, the doctor or the clinician. The individual scientist, they will want to keep ahead, they will want their science to be first to market. It's really important that they get their science out there as fast as possible. Implementing the new scientific breakthroughs or the new technology, the time it takes to validate those, put them through the rigour of testing to allow them to be used in the clinical space, means the time elapsed is a lot longer than for the basic researcher. So the judgment has to be which technologies that you adopt at what particular point in their development process. Clinicians need to go through extensive training to do different applications. There are core facilities that need to have new staff, automation, new ways of looking at data. So there is a constant cycle of moving the whole of the operations that supports clinical and research forward, and having and working with a partner that understands that, not only from the product basis but also the service basis, is incredibly important.
How do scientists keep up with NGS technologies and choose the best solutions?
The way that most scientists keep abreast of is keeping up with the literature, the research, and also working with companies that they trust, that have a good knowledge in the products and the NGS application space. At LGC Biosearch Technologies, we have an array of research scientists. For example, we have chemists, we have biochemists, we have NGS scientists, and we have bioinformaticians. All of them looking and can look to develop our products and our services to deliver into that NGS space.
How important is it that scientists have access to universal components to enable NGS applications?
The sequencing technology itself, there are some platforms I would use that are pretty much used on a regular basis. And if I class those as boxes at the moment, those particular boxes provide the data and the output. To surround that box, to actually take a DNA sample or an RNA sample to allow it to be used on that box, then there are many components or individual reagents that are used to create the scientific output to go onto the box. Because there are numerous platforms that you can run sequencing on, it is really important that the components that are developed that can work on all of those different platforms. They may be slightly different, but the basic component is there. So for example, oligos can be used on numerous different sequencing platforms.
What does a successful partnership look like for NGS?
So disruptive technology can be quite concerning not only for the scientists but also businesses. So one of the things that is really important is for those scientists and those businesses to work in partnership with an organisation that understands the space, understands the applications that disruptive technology is needing to be able to work with, and also has an extensive background and support for the science, not only within the wet chemistry and the application space, but also the data space. And certainly at LGC Biosearch Technologies, we pride ourselves in having that flexibility of workforce and understanding of all of that space to able to help and support as a trusted partner.
To answer the big questions, scientists need NGS partners who understand their agriculture and healthcare research, and to use that understanding to drive forward the disruptive technologies enabled by NGS. Only then can NGS make a real contribution towards its ultimate goal, to help feed and cure the world. Partners such as Biosearch Technologies.